See those mountains off in the distance, but that's where we're going today. Oildale. Road. Right now, this is a 2% grade, so not much to it, but it definitely gets steeper, period. I just said period, because I'm so used to dictating at work. Sorry about that. Hi there. So I'm just starting on Round Mountain Road. It's been a rough day. I've taken a few wrong turns. It's gonna be a little bit longer ride than I initially anticipated. And it being Mother's Day and all, I'm expected home at some point today. So anyway, we'll take a look at some cool scenery. Cow crossing sign. That's cool. Thing. And 333 feet. Heart rate of 161. Just now starting to get sweat dripping, which is just because, you know, I'm going 8 miles an hour, 8 to 12 miles an hour, and it's just not enough to make wind blow over my head and evaporate the sweat. Then it starts to drip down on my sunglasses. 384 feet and climbing. That's me forgetting that I was off instead of on. And then I turned it on and then moved the camera. So we're at 1,453 feet. Some pretty cool scenery out there. And as promised, another cattle crossing right here. That's so nice. You can see those mountains out in the distance too. That's what makes it fun. So it looks like we're starting to descend now, so I guess that was the top. And I'm right now at 1,444 feet. And it looks like we're probably at the top. But the road's incredibly smooth up here too, and that just surprises me because there's plenty of places along the way where it's not very smooth. It's got a little bit of a climb here again. Even here it's only 1,412 feet. This is usually where I turn around when I'm coming up the other way, the counterclockwise direction. Now this is what makes the climb worth it. You just coast and look around and see the beauty of the landscape. Be careful on the corners because there's always loose gravel. It's not like the Tour de France where they can just fly around these corners. They would probably die. There could be a car coming, you never know. I'm just always worried about the gravel on these things. And I ride accordingly. Believe it or not, this used to be the bottom of the ocean. And there's a place not far from here where they find a lot of megalodon teeth. And that is cool. And you can see a lot of this is just sedimentary rock. Probably was a delta. Then of course the earthquakes lifted it up, and now it's mountains. And as you can see, we're about, I can't even see because I got so much sweat on my glasses. Right now we're 876 feet above sea level. This bike I'm on isn't built for descending at high speed. It's built for breakaways on flat land. It's got an aerodynamic down tube, so the wind really plays with it. And so going fast, and there's some wind up here, you really have to control the bike because it's just not designed for this kind of riding. But for most of the riding in Bakersfield, it's freaking awesome. Just when you're on all the flats, but high speed in the mountains, you're hanging on because you really got to control the bike. It just gets a lot of play. This farmer, very nice farmer around here that has a water spigot, and I just got some water, which I needed desperately. It is windy out here, but I am almost back to the bike path. Oh, this is steep. That hurt. So I'm back almost to Daryl's right now. And I know that Daryl's is about 15 miles from home. And I've already been out here for 3 hours and 30 minutes. And that's gonna take me probably about 45 minutes to get home. To an hour, depends. I mean, I probably have to stop and get a little bit more water. That's about 7 miles ahead to the next park where I can get water. The thing about water is, if you're already down on calories, you can have an energy bar, but if you don't have water to go along with it, it's probably not doing you that much good and probably actually hurting you. Because you need water as part of the digestive process to break down carbohydrates. Key element that I think a lot of people forget, like with their diets and stuff, is that you got to drink a lot of water so that your digestion is as efficient as it can be. So this is Daryl's. It's kind of like a landmark for cyclists because it's the end of the bike path and the beginning of frontier riding, so to speak. So you're basically going to be on highway for a while once you go out past here. And as you can see, bicycle. So here's the bike path right here, just behind that truck. And here we go. times out here along this canal, you'll see egret, the big white bird. Usually they're by themselves, although I've occasionally seen them kind of grouped together. And that's probably when they're talking about me. That was just a joke, by the way. I assume they've got other, you know, business going on during a very brief period of time in their lives, and then they go back to being solitary. Usually when I run across one, I don't have my camera on, so I'm just going to leave it on right now as we go up through this bike path. This is just at the bottom of the Panorama Bluffs. I regret, no egret. See what I did there? But it's not over yet. Oh my God. Occasionally I get mudslides around here. And that's what that stuff is from. Small ones. Right around this area, you can see a lot of what I like to call urban outdoors enthusiasts or free-range humans. Heads up! Heads up! 51 miles into my ride right now, and I just went under the bridge that's 10 miles from home. So definitely 45 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on the wind, I should be home. Now the more you do these, the better you get at adapting. So I took 2 wrong turns. The one was when I went past Chester Avenue, which I do all the time. And so today, mindlessly blew through it, even though that's where I intended to turn to go up north to get onto Round Mountain Road. Secondly, I went right past Granite Rd on Chester and just kept going for a while until it started to be way too rough. And I'm like, I don't remember it being this rough. And then I got out my phone and looked at a map, and sure enough, I was on the wrong road. So, came up a little short on the water because of that. But luckily I knew where a place that I could get water on the downhill side of Round Mountain. So that was nice. Because otherwise, there's nowhere else to get water except up here at Yokuts Park. That there was Buck Owens Boulevard that we just went under. And this up here is Interstate 99. Breaking the speed limit of 10. Yokich Park. So I'm at Yokich Park, which is about 8 miles from home, drinking some water. Okay, so I just got done drinking some water, taking in some energy. I took in about 370 calories. I got 8 miles left to go, so that'll get me there for sure. And let's go. People think I'm weird when they see me talking to myself. So try not to do it too much in front of people. And the squirrels, because they talk. And my battery's almost dead. Forgot to bring a spare battery with me today, even though I reminded myself 47 times to do that. So I otherwise would have had more footage, but I wanted to make sure I went from beginning to end. Period. There I did. I just said period again. On your left. At 22 miles an hour, heart rate of 141. Just doing about 170 watts. Here come the uh-oh. All right. So we'll see if we got any battery left, but that was my ride. 4 hours and 31 minutes, 61.7 miles, averaged 125 watts. Let me give some more information. Averaged 126 beats per minute on my heart. Average speed was 15.3 miles per hour. Average cadence of 72. And I burned 1,809 calories. So definitely make sure you bring 3 water bottles and at least 1,000 calories of food with you if you're gonna climb Round Mountain. And do it in a 60-mile version like I did today. Normally it's 56 miles when I don't take the wrong turns in Albuquerque and Sheboygan. Bugs Bunny reference there for you youngsters. That was a cartoon from back in the 40s through the 90s that kids used to watch before all that rock and roll music and worldwide interwebs came around. Anyway, that's my ride. I'm just gonna cool down my legs a little bit. My computer said my recovery time from this ride is 23 hours, and that's actually pretty good considering how long I rode for, because that was a 4.5 hour ride, 60 miles, actually 62 was the final count, and I'm still riding, but I'm not counting these few feet. But my heart rate right now is 114, which I think is a little high, but I'm pretty sure I'm dehydrated with the heat the wind and the distance and all the climbing. So I guess I'm not that surprised, but normally I come home from a ride and I get down to like below 100. And right now I'm 115, so that tells me I've got a lot of drinking to do of H2O, not ETOH. You jokesters. All right. So anyway, I'm back home. It's Mother's Day. Gonna go get a shower and see what my family's up to. I know we've got family coming over today, so. Just a quick look at my beast. You can see it just has this aerodynamic down tube right here. It's kind of flat, and I don't know if we'll be able to get a good view of it here, but that's to cut through the wind. It's kind of like a time trial bike, and unfortunately it catches the wind when there's side wind, and especially when you're going downhill pretty fast, you're kind of creating wind, and then if there's more wind, you're going to be fighting the bike. Got my Durace Shimano. This stuff is, I mean, it's been working perfect. I've had it 12 years now. And the rear cassette has been changed out, and it's an Ultegra, and the chain, of course, but the chain's Ultegra as well. But the front's Durace, and the shifters are Durace, and the brakes are Durace. And it just goes to show you pay a little bit more, but they last. You can see I got rim brakes. I mean, and this is, good luck finding bikes with rim brakes anymore, at least at this kind of caliber. They all have gone to disc brakes, which I can't wait to see myself.